So, welcome to Groundshaw's podcast series. Today, we're going to be talking about teams and how we deliver B Corp within the company as a whole. And today, I have with me Nicola Weaver, who is our HR manager, and you've been with us for 6 months now, picking up at the point where we were going through the certification process, a whole range of different activities that we've been doing in the company. And we've got Dani Bouman here, who is our GIS manager, who has been here a lot longer. And you look at, so GIS, do you want to give us a quick introduction of what GIS is?
Well, yeah, GIS stands for Geographic Information System, and ultimately I manage a data team at Groundshaw. I'm responsible for the data that goes into all of our products.
Yes. And one of the reasons I was quite excited I could actually talk to you is I think we can say that you were the person who introduced us to B Corp in the first instance. I remember, what was it, 3-4 years ago, you came and presented to the board to talk about this new thing called B Corp. What was it that you saw in B Corp that you thought would be good for Groundshaw?
I think B Corp, I was introduced to B Corp through friends and family who were going through the certification or supporting organisations who were going through the certification. So I had access to a lot of reading material and conversation at that time about what it meant. And it resonated with Groundshaw at the time because we really were trying to focus on a bit of ESG stuff. And I thought, well, why not? You know, we're doing really well in certain aspects. We're making an effort. Let's hold ourselves accountable to some really high standards. Let's, measure ourselves against those standards and give ourselves an opportunity to both hold ourselves accountable and get better.
Yeah. And it's one of those things I think we've embraced with enthusiasm. We've pulled a lot together in a short time. And I think for me, it was one of those things. We were seeing lots of activities that were happening, and it's been our opportunity, as you say, to pull them together and see them in the round and work out where we're strong and where we might like to look at developing. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you both about, because both of you are involved in small teams that are helping deliver our B Corp certification at the ground level. Nicola, perhaps I can start with you, because you have several teams that you participate in. What I'd like to talk about is the community team. Do you want to give us a bit of a view as to the sorts of things that they get involved with?
Yeah, of course. So we have our community team, which is various people from around the whole company who oversee a budget, and some of that budget allocation goes to fundraising matching. So if somebody's raising particular amounts of money for a local community event or a charity, the community team will match all of the efforts raised, which is fantastic. Another element of the community team that we look at and support is the volunteering. So asking people to donate their time, and again that might be something that's really passionate and that's something they're close to within their local community, or they might be part of a volunteering day that the wider company organise. And I believe that you've been part of one of those volunteering days, which was a very great experience. If you wanted to tell us a bit more.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the summer we started sponsoring South Downs National Park, and we had a fantastic time out with a group of us, from CEO all the way down through to half a dozen different teams all present, and we were out there cutting the hedgerows back and clearing the space to reallow the natural meadow biology to come back again, allow the cows in to do their work. And it was a fantastic day. We knew that we were bringing benefit to the actual grassland, but it was actually fantastic to spend time with colleagues and just get to know them better as people.
Well, I was thinking another way that we ask people to volunteer their time is hot mapping, which is really successful within the whole team and across both offices. I believe, Dani, you've got some experience with hot mapping. Yeah. You don't have to do it in person and you don't have to know a lot about it either. So do you want to talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, for sure. So hot mapping is It's actually an incentive or an initiative from the Humanitarian OpenStreetMap team that the GIS team came across a number of years ago. And it's an initiative that really resonated with what we do and actually what we're passionate about. It's like, we love maps. Maps are great. But more than that, it's actually kind of quality data and how gaps in data are basically gaps in equity. So it's using open source data for the betterment of communities, as well as supporting the kind of relief through kind of emergency aid or through disaster relief as well. So accessing those communities that have been through natural disasters and things, as well as war-torn areas, getting aid in there and so it's a really nice way that we can give back as a team. So just throughout the year we get together as a group and we all give some time, and it's something that we went to our exec at the time and said, this really resonates, we'd like to do this. They would never have said no, but actually they said, yeah, absolutely, and if you guys give some of your time, we'll give some work time too. So we have a really nice team of people that come together, and sometimes we eat a few biscuits as well.
Yes. And I know one of the things that I found really lovely from this is I know we've had clients come back to us and say, well, we saw you did this and we've looked into it and started doing it themselves. So there's no restriction on anyone doing it, is it?
Absolutely. It's like I say, it's a humanitarian OpenStreetMap initiative, and absolutely anyone can get involved in it at what is it? It is hotosm.org. So if you're interested, absolutely go and have a little look. And if you're not sure where to start, reach out to us at Groundshore and we'll point you in the right direction and give you a hand.
Yes, that's fantastic. So I think one of the things that I've really enjoyed about this is these were a variety of initiatives that we had done piecemeal before, but actually by having a team, we've had a much more concerted effort and really encouraging those sorts of conversations to have within the company. Another area that we have small teams with, which is possibly more formal, is our data governance executive. I mean, data underlies all our data and our analysis, and so it's absolutely crucial that this is dealt with well, isn't it? And I think it's one of those things that our customers would expect that to be absolutely seamless, but I think this is one of our ways of delivering that. And how does the DGE, the Data Governance Executive, work?
Yeah, so data governance at Groundshore has been around a long time. And again, it's one of those things that kind of resonated about B Corp. We're already doing quite a few things. Let's measure ourselves up and get better. But data governance at Groundshore is about making sure we're doing the right things in process through data for all of our stakeholders. So I guess ultimately our clients, what we're doing is we're coming together as a big forum with specialists from across the business to look at changes in process, changes in data, either expected or not, and making sure that we're taking consideration of how that impacts everything from a slight change in a product, how that might impact our clients, right through to an additional workload for a particular department and how that might impact other things or other processes in the business. And it's a really nice kind of holistic kind of forum team, in fact, to get specialisms from across the board. It's a really nice kind of teamwork aspect to it. I'd say it kind of harbours quite a transparent, sort of honest feel to the way that we work as well. It sort of steps away from any, I guess, blame culture or perhaps we should have done something differently. Everyone is there to discuss it, and it's a really nice learning sort of arena as well. You get to see a view of how all the other parts of the business work, and it's something we do weekly.
And the final area that I wanted to talk about was mental health and wellbeing, because one of the things about B Corp is being transparent and setting yourself targets, and this is an area that we know we have a range of skills that we already deliver. But Nicola, I know that one of the things that you brought with you from previous employments was a particular award that is really helpful in benchmarking so that you've got something against which to monitor yourself. Can you give us a bit of background about that?
Yeah, of course. So that's called the Wellbeing at Work initiative, and it's something that actually our engagement team helped to bring to the company. So there's a set criteria with various elements focusing on wellbeing, such as physical health, mental wellbeing, eating well, looking at overall company culture. So again, it's a set criteria that we've been able to measure ourselves against, and it's really positive to see that actually we're doing a lot of these things but also look for areas of improvement. And the engagement team, that's again a group of people from across the company that get together regularly on a weekly basis to look at initiatives and fun things to get people together. And using this criteria, it's been really fantastic to improve the well-being of people within the company.
Yeah, and it's I did hear the engagement team as just making your work life just that little bit better, which I think underplays it, but I think it just describes the sort of gentle things that they get us to do. So in the summer, they did a brilliant initiative of getting people to grow sunflowers and share those. And I think that shows not only was it our staff growing sunflowers, but it was their friends and their families. And I think it just shows how sort of positive steps like that can actually amplify spreading a little bit of joy. And there was another one, wasn't there, Dani? The Race to the Sun.
Yeah, that one. So that was a bit more of a kind of winter initiative, and it was about getting people moving. And also it was off the back of a time where our working setup had really changed. So it was actually getting people interacting a bit too. So, you didn't have to be in the same room. And the idea was you moved to sort of create the virtual distance to get us from one of our offices to the Caribbean, let's say. Yeah. And between us all, we did the distance, walking, hopping, cycling, taking dogs for walks, you name it. So, yeah, it's good fun.
That's good. Well, I hope that gives you a sense of the sorts of things that we're doing in Groundshaw that engages our teams, gets our people working together, having creative ideas and embedding it in our culture. If you'd like any further information, please do get in touch. Thank you for your time.